Welcome back, everybody. Dan here with Plant Abundance, and it has been a beautiful day today. Spring day, June 3rd, 2019, and I'm here in the Bay Area, California. We got nice 80-degree weather, a little breeze cutting through, and it's just a great day to be alive. I'm thankful to be alive. I hope you're thankful to be alive. Hope you're living your life to the fullest, or at least gearing yourself up to get in the direction you want to be so that you can live the life that you envision for yourself. For me, a big part of that is growing my own food, eating healthy, and today is no exception. I'm very happy. I'm starting to harvest some apriums. I was eating a few of these today, and I've been gobbling down some of the loquats, but I'm gonna pull my first real harvest today of loquats. I want to share that with you guys. We're gonna take a sit down, do a taste test, and discuss that a little bit. We'll open up the fruit and we'll look at what it looks like. Loquat is one of my favorite trees to grow back here. The reason being is that it's an evergreen. It's beautiful, it's tropical looking. Let's go head over there and look at it. So as you can see, these loquats have a golden color. They can range, depending on variety, from yellow to a slightly reddish tint, and they grow in clusters. And once they ripen up, they turn this yellow color. They're a little bit soft. They have a little bit of give to the touch. And most of these are now ripe, ready to go. Some of them are still a little green and hard. One thing you don't want to do is harvest the loquat early and attempt to let them ripe on the counter. The reason being is they just don't ripen properly. And there's a lot of acid in the fruit when you do it that way. And that's one of the reasons why you don't typically see these fruits at market, because they do need to be picked when they're fully ripened. Tree ripened fruit is the absolute best fruit you can ever taste, you could ever imagine. But in the case of the loquat, it's actually essential that you let it fully ripen. And here's another sign that we're good to go. We've got some falling fruits here. Good way that nature tells us, hey, pick me and eat me, I'm ready. So the best way to pick these fruits is to get right up towards the stem, give it a little twist. And as you can see, it kind of tears away a little piece of the skin. So you pretty much want to eat these as soon as you harvest them. You could cut off the whole cluster if you want. That would be just fine. But I like to pick these individually because the whole cluster is not always ripe at the same time. So I'm just going to kind of go around and pick off the ripest fruits here. This bowl is much too small, but this is going to be my mono meal for the hour. We'll just wipe off some of that powder on there. Just look at that beautiful shiny orange glow. Now when you do harvest the fruits fully ripe, they will stay good on the counter for a couple days, no problem. That one can go a little longer. Some nice big ones over here. So there we go, just a couple minutes time. We got a nice fresh bowl of loquats here. This is gonna make a beautiful mono meal. All right, so here we go. We're gonna dig into these loquats now. First, I'm gonna cut one open so you guys can see what it looks like with a nice clean cut. So here you can see just how fleshy the fruit is. Very juicy. There's usually about 4 seeds in here. And you can just pop out the seeds, just squeeze the fruit a little bit, pick it out. And away we go. What I love about the Loquat is, to me, it just instantly gives me this boost of energy. Now, I usually wipe off the powder to show you guys the fruits, but I'm not too worried about it when I'm just consuming it, because it's growing in my backyard organically. No sprays, nothing like that. Now, I do rinse off a lot of my fruit and vegetable, simply because the pollutants, the dust in the air, sometimes you'll see some bird droppings on the leaves and stuff, and you want to make sure you're not eating any of that. But now these nice big seeds will easily grow a new Loquat. The thing about that is that in order to grow an exact clone of the tree, you got to take a cutting, usually done through air layering. But the seeds will grow slightly different types of Loquat. You may get an exact copy, you may get something a little different, but these will grow fruiting Loquat trees. I've had a few people ask me if I'm going to offer any of these seeds, make them available to you guys, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now's a great time, since I'm going to be gorging on these over the next few days, to just collect those seeds and offer them to you. So if you're interested, I'll throw a link below the video, just a PayPal link. Any credit card, debit card will work, and I'll send these seeds off to you. Unfortunately, I'm only able to ship seeds to folks with US mainland addresses, so that's the only thing about it. So let's talk flavor. Now, it's really important that when you eat the Loquat, they are fully ripe. Like I mentioned earlier, they'll change to their mature color, in this case yellow. And I believe this is a gold nugget variety. This was a gift from a family friend. I had a little whip of a tree, and he didn't know what it was. But the golden nugget is a self-fertile tree. It's a hermaphrodite, so it has both male and female flowers. So you only need one, which is great. There are other varieties of Loquat that are going to need a pollinator, and even with the self-fertile varieties, having a second Loquat tree can be beneficial for cross-pollination and offer you heavier fruit sets. But I just have one tree growing. You saw how much fruit's on there. And just look at the juice on this cutting board already. So that there is some of the most purest, healthful water you can have. Filtered through the tree, put into the fruits. Now, I usually don't cut them open like this. I just pop them in my mouth and spit out the seeds. But this is kind of fun. I'm also just kind of tearing off the bud end where it was attached to the tree. Now, for such a tropical looking tree, you would think that it only grows in warmer climates. Well, we get below freezing here, so a lot of the tropical trees are out of the question. But the Loquat will survive down to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So that means a lot of folks can grow this tree across the United States. And the only thing that I want to mention about that is that if you do live in an area that gets down to 10 degrees or somewhere, below freezing in the winter, you'll still have a nice evergreen tree, but you might lose the fruit set because these trees bloom in the winter time. So the flowers, if the tree's already in bloom and you get below freezing, you're probably going to lose your entire fruit set. But with that being said, the tree is very ornamental. And that's why there are varieties of loquat that are fruitless that are pretty popular, because they do have that ornamental appearance, the evergreen foliage, which works really well if you want to have a little bit more privacy in your yard, or you just want to add some more color during the wintertime. What a way to spend an evening. All my friends here on YouTube, if you're watching this video and you have a loquat tree, comment below, tell us what you think about it. If you are interested in growing a loquat tree, and there's nothing to it but to do it. It's probably one of the easiest trees to grow. From seed, from cutting. Fast grower. If you grow from seed, you'll probably have a tree about 3.5, 4 feet tall in just a year. They grow really fast. When I got this tree, it was about 3 feet. And I was getting fruit off it after, I want to say 2 years. I think, yeah, 2 years in the ground, and I was already getting fruit. Now they can get really, really large. I've seen some examples around here of trees that are 30, 40 feet tall. So keep that in mind. I do pruning on my tree to keep it low. And as a result, I lose some of the fruiting wood for the following year. So what tends to happen for me is I get 1 year of a very abundant harvest like this year. Next year, we'll get some fruit. It just won't be as heavy because of the amount of pruning I do. And then again, the following year, I won't be doing much pruning. We'll get a big fruit set again. But I'm able to keep that tree down to a manageable height. I may let it get a little bigger. So the taste of these fruit is unlike anything else I've ever had. I would say it kind of tastes like a cross between a pineapple a mango and a peach. And it is a bit tart. It's not just super sweet, it's got a little tartness to it, which I like. It kind of wakens up the mouth. And I think it's that little tartness that gives me that little boost too. Oh, chickens are coming around. Let's see if they like loquat. So I'd say that was a yes. Now some people actually prefer to peel the fruit. So we'll do one like that. So you can see it's very easy to peel. They come off in big strips. Like a juicy nugget. I've actually only done that maybe once before, and it's pretty darn good. I got more notes of like kiwi fruit when I peeled it. But as with many other types of fruits, sometimes the nutrients can be found in its highest quantities concentrated in the skin. So although it may make a more pleasing texture, you're getting less nutrition. So either way, we'll do that again. That is really good though, peeled. It almost just dissolves in your mouth. Well, I thought I was going to eat this whole bowl as a meal, but I'm actually feeling satisfied right now. Like I would just be kind of forcing myself to continue. So what did I eat here? About 7 or 8 fruits, and I feel satiated, satisfied. I was a little hungry before I got started. I'm no longer hungry. So I'll bring these in and snack on these maybe a little later again, and we'll be pulling harvest for days and days to come. So that's the Loquat. If you're not already and you're able to, consider growing one of these trees. You'll be happy you did, and that's for sure. So with that, I want to wish all y'all a great rest of your evening. I'm gonna be doing some watering out in the garden. We've got a hot day coming tomorrow, high 90s or mid 90s. So definitely want to get the garden nice and soaked. I've just been doing overhead watering by hand and not daily. It's more just spot watering what needs it. So I probably watered the least I've ever watered this garden since its beginning. So that's pretty cool. With that being said though, we haven't really had much hot weather. We've been in the 70s and 80s, and like I said, it's June 3rd. So it's a bit below average. It's been really nice. We also got some good later rains, and that helped a lot. But it's just been an easy going year, and the new growth and the volunteers and the fruits and everything that's happening is just a blessing. Feeling very fortunate. Love being able to share this with you guys and hopefully inspire you a bit if you're not already to start growing your own food or grow some more food. Doesn't have to be this big commitment or a hobby that's going to take up a bunch of your time, although that's my preference. I love having this as a hobby, gardening, and also making the videos, the YouTube videos, to share with you guys. So it's definitely not work for me. It's fun, enjoyable, rewarding. But if you're limited on time, you think you're too late this year, you're not. You can still get things in the ground. The more perennials you got, the less work you're going to have to do in the long run, because they just keep producing year after year. There's no replanting, preparing the soil. It's just a little mulch, a little compost, you're good to go, a little water. Taste-wise, I actually do prefer these a little bit more without the skin. Just the texture is wonderful. Once again, if you want to get yourself some Loquat seeds, I'll make those available. Shipping costs a few dollars because it has to be shipped as a parcel because the seeds are so large. Anyway guys, have yourself a great rest of the evening. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. And until next time, this is Dan from plantabundance.com. Take care. I'll be talking to you again soon.